Kryptonite Podcast. I am Mark Storrs, and with me as always is...
Borb.
Wow.
We're doing bingo.
I was like, we are doing bingo.
Somebody made a bingo, and that was my not name, so X that fucking square.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Mark showed it to me just a moment ago, and I fucking delighted.
Over on Facebook, Peter, I forget his last name, but he made a bingo board, which is pretty fucking dope. So thank
Everyone
you so
should
much.
play
X
this.
it.
Yeah,
Start
X
playing.
it.
We're going to do our best to make sure there are definite
You're
winners.
all going to win tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. There's going to be some fuck-sucking victors in this bingo game.
Boom.
And you are.
I'm Rob Morphy.
Thank you all for joining us. Top of the show, we're COVID-free in 23.
Absolutely.
Our possible exposure was no big deal. All the tests came back okay. Everyone is good. Everyone's sound. Unfortunately, this will continue to happen because that's just the world we live in. So whatever. It is what it is. Sometimes we're going to record remotely. Sometimes we're going to be in person. It's good to see you guys.
I am so glad to be back in just 1 week, though. That's not so bad.
Whatever. Hey, you know what? You think something happens, you get a test, no big fucking deal. You come back, we're recording the next week. Boom. HellerSpace.com, Robert.
Indeed.
Get yourself those election t-shirts.
Every time.
They're there.
I actually love them.
I
Both
do love
designs.
them too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fat bastard, but they're definitely going to come home in the form of coffee mugs.
Speaking of COVID, they are available as masks.
Oh.
You could get that as a hoodie, and you could get the matching mask.
Or you could get each one,
Yeah.
have the skull on your lips and the logo on your chest, or vice versa.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a lot of options there. Heller Space, check that out. There's always sales. We post about them. And if you're on the Patreon, there is a permanent 35% off code that you can use that I post in the Patreon every month, so be sure to check that out. We have a new design coming up. We all checked it out. It's fucking dope.
It's dope as shit. It's by a guest artist that
we're gonna wait till we actually get the test prints to fucking announce it. But yes, it is a guest artist.
Yeah. Well, I want to say, as the guy that usually draws it, it is an amazing piece of artwork that I had nothing to do with. Therefore, I'm slightly jealous and immensely proud.
Yeah,
because it looks awesome.
This is #1 in our artist series.
This is #1 in our artist series.
Right on.
There you go. So there'll be more coming.
Absolutely. Support your local artists.
Yeah.
And not local artists. Just support fucking artists, please.
Totally. So we'll be going to be posting that up soon. The test print should be here next week, so we're fucking stoked on that. Patreon.com/Kryptonite Podcast. Get that Discord. It's fucking dope. Shout outs to our admins there real quick. We got Blue. We got Bone Daddy. We got Literal Jesus helping me out there. You're also an admin, too.
I am.
You are an admin.
Really?
I believe.
I didn't say I am as de facto. I said I am as in exclamation of surprise.
Maybe you're not. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
certainly not effectively working as an admin.
No, it's okay, though.
I haven't been on there in a little bit, but I love the time I spent there, and I can't wait to go back.
And $1 is a shout-out. $5 is a shout-out and some bonus audio. Both of those tiers will get you into our Patreon. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to those shout-outs.
Absolutely.
Oh, you like that little morning radio there?
It was.
Yeah.
I know. I know we have to get all the officious shit out of the way, and I can't wait to jump into this and then jump into the story. So without the ado of further,
there it is.
Starting with Elliot Morris.
Thank you much.
Cole Harold.
Oh, shit. Cole's in our Facebook group, and he draws a bunch of awesome shit. Thank you, Cole.
Right on. Jason Cockrell.
What up, Jason?
Thomas Lapointe.
Hell yeah. What up, Thomas?
Adrian Vandermoor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so exotic. That's so regal.
Vandermoor.
What's going down, Adrian? What's happening?
He's a baron, no doubt.
There you go.
Baron
at least,
Vandermoor,
or
thank you for joining us.
Yeah, totally.
Alexandra Santiago.
Hell yeah, Alexandra. Thank you so much for your contribution.
John Thompson.
Damn, John.
Perfect.
Been a while. What up?
Richard Easby.
Hell yeah, Richard.
And I got to say, I don't know, Richard, if it was a specific thing to you, but when Mark handed me this list, yours was the only name not bolded.
I just forgot to bold it.
So I just wonder if it's... I don't think it's because you've been lessened. I think it's made you more of a standout from the crowd.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Richard.
Mark's a dick.
M. Always. M. Lawrence Arnold.
Hell yeah. What up?
Ivy Lazuli.
Yeah, Ivy.
Oh, yeah.
Nuperius Deletarian.
Oh, is that an
geez.
alien? Do we get an alien finally?
I hope I got it right.
Dope.
Tony Kelly.
Hell yeah, Tony.
Zobliquity.
Zobliquity. Oh, shit. I was
Zobliquity.
waiting for Zobliquity to pop in there. What's going on? We got some corrections.
Wait, so you're familiar with Zobliquity? Excuse me?
No, not really.
You were waiting. So you were
What?
not waiting.
No.
That was a lie. That was a bald-faced lie you told your friends and your listeners.
You know
who
what?
are also your friends at
Much
a distance.
to do with my endorsement, possibly of meth. I'll walk my comment back. I'm sorry. Okay.
This is what I have to deal with Mark.
All the time.
He's a liar. He's a fiend.
Yeah, so
Like,
true.
what the fuck?
The hair's not helping.
Hey.
Huh?
Hey. I almost went and bought Rogaine.
Dude, you have fine hair.
No.
I'm
What?
picking.
Listen, I almost went and bought Rogaine. Look at it. It's getting a little thin on top. Just
You're
saying.
pushing 40.
Jesus
Live with it.
I am 40.
Oh, God, you are. You've pushed beyond the threshold of 40.
The crypto kid is 10 years from AARP.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Let's get these corrections, Robert. What do we got?
Okay, so what we have, and this, I'm going to read this verbatim because I'm enjoying this. It is not, as I believe I said it, Matalyan.
Matalyan, yes.
It is Mattel like Battle and Jan like Jan Brady
Metal
from the
Jan.
Brady Bunch.
So it's Mataljan.
It is Metal Jan.
We did not get that
Oh.
No,
correctly.
fuck that up.
No, we did. Totally.
I thought I had it. I didn't.
right.
I hope that makes
Okay.
sense. I feel so fucking ridiculously pedantic sending a correction, so apologies. Love your show regardless, winky face. Madeljan. I'm saying it
There it
right
is.
now.
Yeah, Madeljan.
You never need to apologize. Correction is part of the protocol.
Yeah.
You paid your $1 or $5, you get your name said right.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you
no
do it
shit.
twice
Right.
or thrice or how often it
There it
is
is.
necessary.
Right.
Thank you
Okay.
for your contribution, and always send corrections. You're paying for it. We're going to do it right.
Yes.
And we're going to do this next one right, too.
Let's hope.
All right.
So the next one starts with, so thanks for the shout out, but in all caps, you fucked up my name. Yeah, a little more.
I love getting these. Dude, I honestly love the corrections. They're so much fun.
I know, it's
You
really
guys,
is
I
my
love
favorite.
you, but fuck off in the hell. How did you fuck this up?
Oh, man.
All right. It's a German name.
Right.
It is not pronounced Steedle. It is Stidle, and I pronounced it Steedle. You pronounced the all right, I'm sorry. I actually almost read this as an I, as an identifier, but it's not. You pronounce the I, not the E. Think of poltergeist or Stein or Zeitgeist, or I guess Zeitgeist in this case. Shit, I always say that fucked up.
Yeah,
well,
whatever.
Well,
It is.
unless you're Rob Morphy, Zeit and Geist are pronounced the same. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah,
See?
Zeitgeist.
Yeah,
so
we're
it's
being- you're not being very
Zeitgeist or whatever. Anyway, so it is. It's not Steedle. It's
Steidle.
Steidle.
Yeah.
Steidle.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we
Holy
got
shit,
Bree
all right.
Metal Jan and Ken motherfucking Steidle. There it is.
Boom.
There it is. Corrections are done. Thank you all so very much for your
Dang.
contributions. Keep them coming. We appreciate it. We're getting new pod tech, I believe in November, which we're all fucking super stoked about. Also, that'll be cool to make our process a little bit easier and possible microphone upgrades as well. So yeah, it's fucking dope. We're
getting
excited.
fancy
yeah,
pants.
I like it. I dig it. It's nice.
Thank you.
It really does. It means the world to us. People support us like this. That obviously our friends support us, but like. People that we don't even fucking know are just straight up
We
giving us money.
marvel at
Like,
it
it's
literally
crazy.
every time we talk. At
Yeah.
least for a few minutes, we're like, holy fuck. We are the luckiest trio in existence.
And obviously
because we get to do what we love, and yet constant love and
Yeah.
support pours in.
And without listeners, we obviously have no show. So thank you all, Patreon and non-Patreon.
Which is not to say we
appreciate it.
wouldn't shit a show into the void for our own delight, because
We did it for 5 years.
exactly.
We did it for 5 unsuccessful years.
And you know what? It was just a good excuse to
Didn't
hang
matter.
and drink.
There you go.
Now
Yeah.
we have an extended
go.
family to enjoy it with.
This week we are talking about stickmen.
The fucking stickmen.
Son of a
Dicks.
They're
bitch.
shady, shady motherfuckers.
Now, normally when you give me a title, you give me like a location.
I usually
this
do.
says worldwide.
Worldwide.
I like this.
Worldwide
All
homicide.
right, worldwide homicide. Here we go. Lurking on the fringes of paranormal lore for decades and seemingly hiding in plain sight all around us, encounters with ominous, char black, impossibly thin beings known as stickmen have steadily been on the rise, leaving terrified witnesses to wonder if they've seen a specter, an alien, an interdimensional entity, or something far more sinister. Stickmen.
Mr. Sinister.
Oh, I love Mr.
He was
Sinister.
great.
Yeah.
He was one of my
I
favorite
just
X-Men
slurred my
villains.
words real bad. I love Mr.
Mr.
Sinister.
Sinister.
I love Mr. Sinister.
It's a great character.
Nathan, there you go, Mr. Sinister. All right, Robert. Enough of Mr. Sinister. What's up with the stickmen?
So here's the thing.
All right.
Although this is a relatively recent phenomenon, at least in terms of reporting, though it's a little bit debatable, it probably goes back pretty far. the internet is fucking riddled with stickman accounts. So just, for ease of us navigating this quagmire, what we're going to do is deal with a quick overview of the phenomenon and then a few of the key cases and other interesting tidbits. So there's just, it would be a 7-part series if we wanted to deal with this en masse. We're just going to bring it to the folks.
Dope.
And have fun.
There you go. Cut and dry. Let's do it.
So first, let's just give a little broad context
Right.
for the existence of weird shit. Although most paranormal investigation is regarded as fringe science by mainstream academics, some branches are given a marginal degree of leeway. Cryptozoology, for example, is the search for hidden animals, and as maligned as the existence of Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster may be, there's not a biologist on Earth who would suggest that the world isn't teeming with heretofore undiscovered species. Along the same lines, most astronomers scoff at the idea that our planet has been visited by extraterrestrial intelligences, yet in the very same breath they will admit that our galaxy is likely populated with untold millions of organic life forms, some of which may be at least as knowledgeable as we believe ourselves to be, which is fucking scary enough a thought as it is.
Yeah.
Global governments have all but admitted that they support, through years dedicated and massive funding, the existence of extrasensory perception, in particular the skill set known as remote viewing, which at least appears to be a genuine phenomenon, even if it is not always 100% reliable for precise military operations. Ghosts, demons, shadow people, and their ilk hang on an even lower rung in the estimation of the majority of scholars, and don't even try bringing up magical practices or the often tiny creatures that virtually all of our ancestors believed they shared the world with. For most intellectuals, these ideas don't even merit a passing meh.
All right.
Anyone even remotely interested in Fortean studies understands this unwritten hierarchy of supposed legitimacy for unexplained phenomenon. Yet, like early quantum physicists who insisted there were genuine particles that exist on a subatomic level making the visible Newtonian world work even while remaining inexplicable themselves, there are those pioneering literati who will not dismiss an incident simply because it does not fit into the parameters of what they already know. It is to these hardy souls, these revolutionary investigators of the unknown, that I offer the virtually unfathomable phenomenon known as stickmen. Although, to be fair, because there's no real gender delineation, it should be stick persons.
Yeah, sure.
But when in chauvinistic realm,
I get
we'll
it.
just stick with it.
I mean, you made my panties drop, so
Sure.
yeah. There you go.
Let's get to it. Described as resembling an animate version of a child's rendition of the human form, the beings referred to as quote-unquote black stickmen, which is a common reference point, though they are sometimes, albeit rarely, depicted as white or other colors, came into prominence back in the 1990s with a sighting of one of these enigmatic entities in an underground parking garage by a military brat named Ryan in 1996.
It's always a fucking Ryan.
Is there really?
It's always a Ryan.
I've not noted the commonplace of Ryans in
Military
paranormal
brat
events.
named Ryan. No,
Okay, that's
yeah,
fair.
and
I didn't know you were going
man.
military brat. I thought you were going like supernatural.
That's a bingo square.
It is. There it is. I know 4 of them.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh, that's nuts.
You know 4 Ryans?
I do.
That we're military brats.
Maybe.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, listen, I'm not going to test you on this.
Okay. Again, Mark's being a dick. He's a dick. Let's just admit it.
Mark's a dick.
What do they call it? The unreliable narrator? Lisa Hoff could help me on this. The author that you cannot trust to be telling you the truth, even though the story's told in a first-person narrative.
How do you think I got this far?
Being an unreliable narrator of your own reality.
Exactly.
God bless you.
Hey,
You're an unreliable author of yourself.
Yeah, reality is what you make of it. There you go.
Ryan, 1996. We're not going to get into it, but he was playing hide and seek with some friends. He ended up going to a parking garage. There was a light at the end because I think it was 4 tunnels leading in, 1 walkway leading out, and he watched this thing descend some stairs.
Oh,
and it was just thin,
That's the deal.
opaque,
Yeah.
and creepy as shit.
All right.
That having been said, reports date back to at least 1964 when a 10-year-old boy named Art and his anonymous friend claimed to have seen a thin black being while walking in the woods. The boys stared in amazement as the spindly, long-limbed figure quickly strode past them. Intriguingly, Art noted, quote, "You could actually see waves of air around the body and the limbs as it moved."
Huh.
That's odd.
That's
Unlike
weird. Yeah.
any other
Waves of air.
paranormal,
So it had mass
or
to it if air was going
cryptozoological-
around it.
it had something.
Yeah.
We're going to break down what this could mean, but
Okay.
this would not be the last time that this strange optical mirage, akin to the shimmer above hot asphalt on a scorching summer day,
Okay, that makes more sense.
has been noted by stickmen eyewitnesses, forcing one to wonder whether this is a thermodynamic phenomenon or if something stranger is affecting the physical world. And we're gonna talk about this later. It's interesting. It's a really strange thing. Another peculiarity noted by witnesses is the fact that these featureless beings seem to react in what they interpret to be a surprised manner when they are observed, almost as if the creatures are accustomed to moving about the human race unnoticed and are alarmed to find that either their uncanny camouflage has failed or that certain people are perceptive enough to notice them. There are scads of additional accounts from hunters and hikers claiming to have seen so-called stickmen in forests, wherein they were initially taken to be trees until suddenly moving and revealing themselves to be animate entities, much to the witnesses' horror.
Kind of makes me think of the
Trans.
this kind of makes me think of the Vegetable Man, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like a big
He was
spindly
yeah.
sort of dude.
Yeah.
You know? But not a stick man, but he was, weird
But he was, no,
spindly.
I mean, very much so, actually, because
Yeah.
he was super thin,
Yeah.
super thin limbs, super thin torso, a weird sort of head with eyes that sort of betrayed
Right,
it. But then
right.
again, stickmen have the, the oval or round head, too. So,
Weird.
I mean, not identical, but I get what you're saying.
Close, thin.
Yeah.
Thin beings.
Yet another common theme shared by those who come across these things is an ominous sense of dread. Although these beings rarely manifest outwardly aggressive behavior, eyewitnesses often confess to feeling sure that the stickmen are capable of inflicting terrible acts in order to maintain the secret of their existence. Some observers have even been known to weep for hours after their encounter. So it's almost like a preternatural sense of, like, more than once.
Okay.
I know, and I'm not discounting anyone's experience, but man, that's a weird psychological.
It's just like, I am positive that fucking guy is going to do some shit.
Do some terrible
and
shit
I'm going
to
to
me.
cry.
No, I know exactly what you guys are saying, but literally the sense of dread has happened time and time again. Like, you think, this thing that has no discernible features, we're going to get into all this. How could you know their intentions, their whatever?
Right.
But it must be radiating something that either more sensitive people or anybody that is just observing them feels like, fuck, I shouldn't have seen them. They don't want to be seen.
Right.
I'm fucked. And for some people, this results in real, if it, perhaps temporary psychological
So
trauma.
they got
Yeah.
like a real aggressive
No, I agree with
vibe.
that. If you see something that's so out of your fucking box,
Right.
and it's disturbing you on a level that's just primal,
Exactly.
then that's going to
Yeah.
happen. That doesn't mean it's necessarily they're emanating it. I mean, I think
It's
that's more
just
coming
your
from you.
perception of
But
it.
I
This
can
makes a valid point. It could be emanating,
I-
like I said,
I can
or
understand
it could be
that.
something so utterly foreign, as Chris just said, that it just strikes you in a way
Yeah.
that
I get that.
It
You're like,
leaves
what?
you a wreck.
What the even fuck?
Exactly.
Oh no, is that the new Pearl Jam jam? Thoughts arrive like fucking butterflies.
Butterfucks. That's right, butterfucks.
Butterfucks.
That's not on the bingo. I'm keeping track.
It's not on bingo, and,
Oh,
that
maybe
is
the next
not an
edition.
obscure metal reference. But we're going to get to the obscure metal
Yeah,
reference.
no, Pearl
I'm
Jam
sure.
is by no means obscure and or
Yeah,
metal
no.
reference.
Ugh.
These similarities having been noted, one distinct disparity in sightings comes in the size of the things observed. While their slenderness appears to be fairly consistent, though there are slight variations in width, their height seems to be all over the fucking scale. Even after a brief overview of the phenomenon, researchers will note a dramatic difference in the reported stickmen statures, with sightings that range from 3-foot-tall bedroom lurkers to 15-foot-high forest dwellers to almost unimaginably tall, kaiju-like 50-foot beings that seem to be able to live undetected in urban areas by folding themselves into the rigid, shadowy nooks of skyscrapers.
Oh, man,
What?
that's weird. Okay.
All over. Everywhere you look.
All right, weird. And there's different sizes, man. There's talls and shorts, and all right, well.
I don't even know what
Yeah,
that.
it's weird.
It's
Okay.
hard.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah. No,
th-
It's
this
like
one-
a sunflower to tree beard.
yeah,
Exactly. No, really.
basically, yeah.
Hiding in the corner of a building.
Wait. Are you indicating they might be sentient plants, Chris? I don't know.
Oh, Chris wouldn't do that. He's a friend. He wouldn't
He's
do
a friend
that.
of yours.
He
He's
wouldn't
also a
do
friend
that.
of
I'm
mine.
saying
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, if they exist, they might be. I mean, I'm not
All
saying anything we know of now is.
That will be quite enough of that, sir.
Yeah.
I'll start singing Jeremy. Don't think I won't.
Oh, God, please. Bizarre, as all of these traits undoubtedly are. Far and away, the weirdest attribute common to the bulk of these entities is that observers often describe them as being two-dimensional creatures that seem to disappear when in profile as if they were living paper dolls. So
Okay.
all this shit's weird enough. Different sizes,
Right.
stick thin, no features, often, opaque, though sometimes, always opaque, I guess, but black and sometimes other variations.
Right.
But fucking when they flip to the side, nada, then back at you, nada.
weird.
Right, or at least a bulk of them seem to be two-dimensional,
Yeah.
or,
more-
or just
yeah,
wicked skinny.
Exactly.
That's-
No, you're right. I mean, but the fact that they're more visible front on and less visible from the side is sort of alarming, because if you can see something super skinny from the front,
Right.
you'd think you could at least see that much,
I mean, I would think it would.
I mean,
especially with
well,
the rounded head.
it would just look like a
You would think
black
that would have
line.
dimension-
I've
Dimensionality.
never encountered something that I saw frontal that I did not see
Well, that's
in
the
the
thing.
third
Yeah.
dimension.
And though I know we're going to break this down later, we've often talked about interdimensional entities. Obviously, that's a common thing. But while we usually use that to be a synonym for alternate realities or
Right.
parallel worlds, this could literally be an interdimensional entity in that it is of and in a dimension that is not the third, possibly.
And I believe Chris brought this up many a time, actually.
Oh, yeah, no, Chris has
Well, he was
tried to
like
clarify the
actual
designation
physical
Yeah.
dimensions.
of
You're right.
dimensions. But even physicists use the word dimension in a lot of ways to denote just another space of reality, not just
Right.
another
Yeah, a measurable
first
thing.
second. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. In his book, The Inhumanoids, author Barton Nunley reported on a series of encounters with these beings, beginning with an eerie run-in that then-student nurse Simon Howes had in 1982 at Worley Hospital in Essex, England. Howes described his initial encounter with this secretive species in which it displayed what we now recognize as characteristic surprise at being seen. And this is what he had to say. I encountered a quote-unquote stick person in the grounds of the hospital as I was walking home one night. It lopped across the roadway, having been, seemingly, pressed up against the wall. It stopped when it saw me and raised its arms in fright and quickly walked off into the undergrowth. Again, is it giving off a feeling,
Yeah.
or is this just a human being's way of interpreting? Like, are these things like working in a world of interpretive dance? And when you see the arm shoot up, you assume it's fright, but
Fear.
it could be who the fuck
I know
knows?
this just sounds like a little cute video game.
It does.
It kind of
yeah.
does.
It does.
But if you saw it corporeally
I-
while walking along
I
at
know,
night,
I know,
bigger
I
than
know.
life, you'd be
Yeah.
like, well, fuck. There's nothing
Suck a
cute about
butt.
this shit.
I'm out of here.
And you can't
Indubitably.
even protect yourself because it's so damn skinny.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means
can't.
either, but it feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It was very tall and very thin, with extremely long arms and legs and a very small oval head. Totally black and no obvious clothing. I saw no face, even though it emerged very near a street lamp and so was well illuminated. I was terrified, and to this day, no one believes me. That's the common curse of eyewitnesses that have the courage to come forward.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But all right, so it steps out in the light. So it's not like its features are vague and yeah, that's right. That's for the listeners. and obscured. It's like
That's
apparently
not
they weren't there.
on the bingo chart. I'm surprised.
Well,
Vague.
that's still. I said vague, not vague.
Vague.
All right.
It's closer.
God damn it. I don't care. I'm sticking with it.
I
will
love it.
not be made self-conscious.
I love it. I support
I actually
you.
am a smidge self-conscious, but
I support you.
Yeah.
I
I'm still
support
gonna
you.
do it.
I have supported you for years in
you
all your
always have.
endeavors.
I know.
All
I know.
right?
Thank you. Bless your heart. All
Chris,
right.
Chris, I don't know. We'll see.
Came out in the light.
Really?
No face.
Oh, you're such a bitch.
Face free in 83,
Phase 3 and 83. All right,
even
cool.
though it was 82.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
The
Let's do it.
faceless fiend.
Decades later, on March 1st, 2011, at about 8:30 p.m., House claimed that just as he was about to exit his office, he heard a sharp buzzing sound outside of his window. Looking for the source of the noise, he spied a long, and this is a quote, long and very thin shadow of copper color. After staring at it for a long beat, Howes was shocked when the shadow stepped out into the light, revealing a faceless humanoid form that, again, quote, looked like a stickman made of one piece. So that's interesting. I mean, but I guess everything that's alive that we know of looks like, well, bugs don't look like. They look like they could be multiple pieces.
Well, I mean,
So I guess like maybe like a sculpture form, like so many
Right.
early representations of humankind and even modern art are just sort of one smooth.
Yeah,
hunk
well, I
of
mean, if it's
torso and
shadow
limbs.
like, you're not gonna see pieces connected. You're just
Right.
gonna see one thing.
Or obvious joints.
Yeah, right. You're not gonna see the
Even though some of these things are described as having pointy joints, but in this case, we'll just assume that's what he means. Following the years of humiliation he had suffered due to his first sighting, Howes decided that he needed absolute proof this time. In order to secure a photo, he left his perch and began to search his office for his cell phone. He found it and returned to the window. Looking out, Howes was stunned to see that the thing was now nearly twice its original size, stating, "It kept growing and stretching until it reached the second floor windows of the neighboring building." That's a whole other dynamic.
Yeah,
there.
that's okay. That's
That's a shadow.
That's
that
what I was
moves
thinking.
within
That sounds-
context of a light.
It sounds like a shadow, yeah.
It does.
Huh.
Though if it's a living thing that can work under those parameters, that's of a
Right.
shadow, a living shadow. But not a shadow man. People are very clear on this and that are talking about mythology.
that's
That's a
different.
whole different breed of cat. Okay. It was then that the wiry apparition assumed a decidedly sinister, spider-like stance. Alliteration, my friends.
Oh, nice.
When it suddenly jumped up the walls and began to climb up to the roof where I lost sight of it, quote unquote. Even after it vanished, Howes continued to hear the buzzing noise for some time. So that's a weird thing, that a sound that introduces and seems to linger. That is not common, but who knows?
Yeah, it's almost like a sensory thing to me.
Yeah, like and again, it makes you wonder: are these people more open, like you would think? Maybe mediums that aren't even aware that they are, or psychic, or people with psychic predilections, I should say.
Interdimensional eyes, dude.
All right, I didn't say that. I fucking did not say that.
Interdimensional
Yes.
No,
There you go,
totally.
interdimensional eyes.
Yeah, one look at you. I can't deny. You've got. So-
exactly.
So maybe they're more sensitive auditorially and visually. Maybe they got interdimensional eyes.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
They got fucking space feet.
God damn
Fuck
it.
yeah.
What the fuck?
All right,
What is
space feet.
happening?
That's a thing.
Hell
That is-
hands. Hell hands and space
Hell
feet.
hands and space feet?
Yeah.
Is that a reference or are you
It's
just
my
making it up?
it's my shit now. It's in my shit now. Yeah, it was Hell or Space. Now it's fucking Space Feet and Hell Hands.
Wow.
Hell
I'm
hands and
glad
space
that I
feet.
have no idea what's going to happen when we do this with you, because I don't even know what to say.
You know, man, we got to work our demons out.
We do.
We do.
Hell
That's how we
hands
do
is
it.
one way.
Hell hands and Space Feet. 2020, vote for it, bitch. I'm here.
This is what I'm saying.
Although, moving on, friends. Although these things have been reported throughout the world, with a seemingly odd emphasis on the American Midwest. I will not pass judgment there.
Really?
It's just a lot of people reporting it.
Huh,
Okay.
Weird.
One of the most harrowing confrontations hails from London and was published on a now defunct website on February 2nd, 2010. The account of what was termed, quote, an alien presence in an urban surrounding was written by a man known only as Andy and has been preserved on the website parasearchers.org. So you can find the account here, even though we're about to read it, but if you want for reference. Cool. So thankfully, it's still there. And this is what he had to say. In the early hours of a weekday morning when I was living in London as a student, back in the early 1990s, I was walking back from a friend's house where another friend, Sue, and myself had spent the whole night talking and revising with a group of other people. I'm not sure what revising is. Maybe they were all a group working on a paper or something.
Yeah, what do you revise people with? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. I've never socially revised, but with screenplays or things you're creating.
Right. Yeah, okay. You're revising with your friends.
Works of art.
Yeah, poetry.
Sure. Yeah.
You guys want to come over and revise tonight?
Yeah, like it's weird.
Well, it's a group of students, so it could be a collective project.
That's what I'm saying. They're revising.
Cool. Yeah.
No drugs or alcohol had been involved. Well, I guess they weren't students. Yeah. No, this guy. What's wrong with you, Andy?
I
feel like they're lying.
God.
Fuck, dude. Bong rips.
Than coffee, which I do
Just
not
coffee?
count as a drug. That's an essential. That's a life essence.
Yeah, fucking coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Sue lived some ways away, so I offered to let her crash at my place. Smooth. Yeah. All right, Andy. I don't blame you for trying.
Even though we've drinking no alcohol, you could stay here.
You're jazzed on coffee, but don't go home. You're too tired. I don't know. Continue.
Mm-hmm. We're not here to judge Andy.
Suspect.
We're judging Andy.
I'm judging Andy.
I'm judging Andy. I'm sorry, Andy, but I'm judging you.
Dawn was just breaking as we turned onto my street. We were very tired and didn't say much to each other until I spotted a man walking up towards us on the same path some distance away. I didn't think anything of it. In a city like London, people are up and about at all hours, and besides, weren't we? He could have been the milkman, a refuse collector, a night shift worker heading home. We walked towards the man. He walked towards us, as is wont to happen in those situations.
It's how walking directionally works.
My home was between us, being him and Sue and the thing, the person, the man. I began to feel uneasy. This is where it starts. I still to this day don't know why I said what I did, but I turned to Sue and the following conversation took place in whispers. Sue, see that man? Yes. Well, this is going to sound weird. He isn't a man, is he? No. Did I just say that? Was Sue's response. Yes, you did. And he isn't. Confirmed Andy.
Okay, all right.
Odd. The figure we had taken to be a man had changed as if the glamour had been lifted. Glamour in this sense, I don't think means like a super fabulous individual so much as like a vampire or...
Right.
In the Scottish definition of like a shape-shifting thing.
Right.
Like the mesmer of whatever had worn off.
Cool.
What we saw was humanoid in shape, about 5 feet tall, with very long arms but short legs. It was a black silhouette, very thin looking. I've often described it since as being similar to the stickman, which is often used on bathroom doors to tell you that you're entering a men's room. And when I say black, I mean black. No light, no shade, nothing but a void. It was as if someone had taken a cookie cutter and had shaped a hole in reality in the shape of something almost, but not quite, human.
Interesting.
A puncture in reality that is vaguely humanoid. That is evocative if nothing else.
Yeah, wow.
You know, it's fucked up.
Yeah, that is.
The creature seemed to be, well, I've used the word lolloping before, which isn't really a word, but denotes the dancing, jolly steps it was taking as it walked. This is interesting to me because Simon said it was lopping.
Right.
You know, just ungainly gait or whatever. So, but the specificity of dancing, jolly steps changes everything. Like if I'm seeing, in my mind, I'm imagining this man-like figure walking toward them. They're walking towards him, you know, though no gender is specified. And it's dark and you're tired and you've been revising all fuck-sucking night. You're doing your thing. So they're walking up, but then to suddenly reimagine this whole encounter as this thing kind of half skip dancing, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
It's
Yeah, jolly steps. It sounds like the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz.
Oh, totally.
Like,
See, I'm thinking Bee Gees.
it's just like,
Well, you're thinking the music that might accompany it, but I
No,
think
I'm
Chris
thinking
is
the Bee Gees
literally
walking down the street.
Yeah, but that's not jolly dancing. Well, maybe they are. I suppose, depending on which video.
I'm
you
not
watch.
thinking of
Tight
consistent.
jeans.
I'm thinking of more of like a erratic, slightly.
skippy sort of happy gait
I guess.
or
Also,
whatever.
could be
Yeah.
a weird shimmer in reality.
What I'm saying
You're
is,
fucking a shreemer.
yeah, you're a schwirrer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dick.
Suck it. Suck on my dope burn. Shreerer.
I just got smoked. All right.
I'm thinking that this takes away from the ominousness of this encounter.
Well, yeah, 'cause
what I've
he's
been
happy.
imagining heretofore has
Right.
been this slow, ominous, noirishly
Yeah, no.
filmed. Like, it's almost as if it was in a movie.
No, it's happy.
Happy for you.
Yeah.
What I've been thinking about so far is this like really ominous, dark, noirishly filmed, as if it's
Right.
in a movie encounter where this thing's approaching and you're approaching it. When you add the jolly dance, that
jolly
somehow
dance, yeah.
negates the treachery.
Well, yeah, because it's not dangerous. It's just enjoying its time.
Well, it still can be dangerous.
It's seemingly not dangerous.
I mean, the
Okay,
Joker,
all right.
you know, especially the Nolan version of it, he would certainly dance about before he did some heinous shit.
Yep. And as
Hey,
did Jack
Mark.
Nicholson.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
so what the
lolloping.
fuck? Shut up, Mark.
It stopped.
Yeah, it stopped, Chris.
Okay, everybody, it stopped. Both Sue and I felt the creature had realized we could see it for what it really was, rather than for what we were supposed to see, which indicates a change. Maybe it was this ominous figure walking and then just transformed into this hop, skip, and jump fuckface.
All right.
We really don't know. It turned, or seemed to turn, ever so slightly, and it was then that we could see the creature wasn't three-dimensional. It was flat, so much so that turning made parts of it vanish from before our eyes until it turned back to fully face us once more. So
Weird.
that's even odd. Like, I
Yeah.
can see, you know, like a lot of times your body turns, but your head remains in whatever direction it was facing. So that as parts turn, they disappear, but other parts just seem to be hovering there
Yeah.
in space. I mean,
Yeah.
that is freaky. And to that end, we freaked. We ran without discussion. I got my keys out and fumbled with the front door to my home, which was a big Victorian house converted into flats. I lived on the middle floor. Sue behind me urged me to hurry. We were both terrified. I got the door unlocked. We dashed inside, closed, and locked it again. We ran up the stairs and hid around the corner, like little children peeping at the big front door, which had two big glass panels through which we could see the front garden. The black stick man approached the door.
Oh, no. He followed him?
Followed him.
Shit.
And we could see its dark shape pressing up against the glass.
Oh, gross.
Neither of us breathed. The creature looked. I say looked. It had no eyes. Through first one pane, then the other. It waited for what felt like an eternity before vanishing. 1 second it was there, the next it wasn't. It was a few minutes before either Sue or I could find the will to move and get ourselves into my living room to discuss what we had seen. We knew whatever it was alien, either from up there, quote unquote, or sideways, quote unquote, which is an interesting delineation.
Yeah.
But definitely not of the world we knew and felt comfortable with. So there's a little postscript here. After years of consideration, Andy came to the conclusion that what had followed he and his friend that fateful morning was, and again I quote, related to the various mythologies of fairies and spirits the world over. I do not think the Black Stick Man was a being from another planet, but rather our own. Normally invisible to human beings, something made visible to us for a time that day.
The Fae. He's going with the Fae.
Or something similar.
All right, cool.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm intrigued by the idea of, because I kind of share this thought, indigenous pop rather than,
Yeah.
an alien, be it from another realm, another planet, another dimension or whatever.
Totally.
Though maybe, who knows? There's a lot of things we're going to have to break down. Andy went on to speculate. Was the being friendly? I don't think so. I think our instinct to run and hide was primal. The creature had affected us emotionally throughout the encounter. We had not only experienced great fear, but we both felt the being had been arrogant, superior in attitude, and angry that its, again, glamour had been pierced or had failed to operate. So
okay,
again,
well, wait a minute.
So
I know there's a lot to unpack.
All right, so it lost its active camo, and it was like, fuck. And then it saw them and was like, you're dead.
No, they felt that way.
This was Andy and Sue's impression.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris is right.
Right.
We don't know that that's actually
like-
what was going on in this thing's
I
head.
felt it was elitist and a dink balls and a piece of shit, and it was like
It was it was a coastal elitist, and then it dropped its fucking active camo.
coastal elitist.
Coastal elitist. Its
You just
camo was
active
blown. It
camo,
was like,
all right.
shit. Bullshit.
Superior. How it didn't say any. Why?
I know.
Maybe
so,
it-
so
Oh,
no,
what does
no,
that
no.
mean, though?
Your frustration is absolutely understandable, Chris, and I get it. I share it. in fact.
I need more info if you're going to make that claim.
But
is what
that
I'm
having
saying.
been said, granted, this is just the result of Andy and Sue's
No, I get it.
post-experience discussion.
Yes,
Right.
I
But
get
that
it.
having been said, we have to consider the two possibilities. One, the very reasonable, supposition that Chris is making that you are scared by something absolutely foreign to your experience. It does pursue you, or at least follows, maybe out of curiosity.
It showed up, yeah.
Who
It was
knows?
there.
Maybe not threateningly, but you both were terrified, and the result was when you broke it down and discussed it after a long night of revision, so you're already on the edge of exhaustion and who knows what, that you decide that not only is it, let me go back to what he was saying here, not friendly,
Not friendly.
creating great fear, and of course, which is the most suspicious, arrogant, superior in attitude, and angry.
Is it even possible for a
So is it? Let me just finish this thought. Is it that this is how they're interpreting this fucking thing? Or is there maybe the possibility that because it's so rarely seen these creatures in general, these entities, that those that can see it are somehow more open to the ability to see it? And if they are, again, I know I'm pissing up a rope here. If they are more able
Pissing up a rope.
to perceive things,
That's a new one.
Pissing in the wind, if you will.
No, Piss Up a Rope is a Ween song. Piss
Yeah,
Up a
no,
Rope.
physics.
Wherever you're pissing, and I know I'm pissing into some obscure place,
Whatever
could
it
they
takes.
be more sensitive to not only perceive it physically, but to sense its intentions and emotions? I'm just putting it out there.
There's always
I
that
get
chance
evidence
because-
doesn't support it.
If you're interdimensionalized,
This
allow
isn't.
that.
I
yeah.
mean, you can't.
Arrogant. How can a stick figure be arrogant? Was his hand on a tip and it was like just shifted like?
Yeah, I know. Did it
Like,
have
what-
that cocksure attitude
Yeah,
that
like
made
it's
you
a
think,
stick figure.
maybe you're confident, but I think you're treading into
You
arrogance.
might, but
Yeah.
you might be onto something. If they can perceive it physically, why wouldn't they be able to perceive it on an emotional level?
Or are we living with a pile of bigoted paranormal entities that are constantly
They're
moving
bigots now?
amongst us? They condescend to scumbag humans. They dance around us because they
Well,
feel
you just
so
called us
fucking
scumbags.
superior.
Yeah, wait,
and
wait.
fucking, and then when they're occasionally seen doing their dancing, they're fucking irritated and will chase you because normally they just look like random shadowy dark fucks walking up the side of the street, but when you can see them for what they are, dancing in glee that they're not us and they're so much fucking better because they're human racist.
I mean, you're projecting a lot on
I'm
them.
speculating.
I don't know.
said
They could be
one.
the solid gold dancers of the
Yeah.
interdimensional.
They could be.
fucking-
All right, yeah, no,
Being
they
like,
could be.
hey,
But
you
I've always
can't do
felt-
this.
I've always felt that solid gold dancers were a little condescending. They always
Well,
danced like they
ergo-
felt better.
Well,
than
you know
their
what?
audience.
Arrogant.
They earned their spot being a
Yeah.
solid gold
And,
dancer.
and I'm saying this as a semi-expert because Chris and I did spend one night of full solid gold dancer researching.
Mark and Cooley.
Yep. Mark and Cooley were our favorite two dancers.
All right.
We
All
literally
right.
watched, I feel
We
like
watched
6 hours,
of
and I feel
solid
like we're
gold,
authorities
yeah.
now.
All
and,
right.
And they certainly were.
Yeah.
They were a little cocksure.
So now where do we go with this?
All right. So we're going to finish this up.
All right.
And we're going to break shit down. Whether we are dealing with a collective invasion or perhaps colonization from beyond this world or within it, that's open to speculation, or disparate, unclassified entities that only superficially share the attributes of being slender, spindly, and mostly black in color, What we can be assured of is that it is best to steer clear of these creatures. This is a sentiment that is clearly shared by experiencers like Andy, who had this to say. I never want to see this creature again. Whatever dimension it came from, I hope I never find myself walking in them. I don't know what we saw. A man from Mars or interdimensional pixie. Nice touch.
Nice.
But I do know, most sincerely, that I hope none of you ever encounter this creature. Amen to that. So that's the broad overview.
Okay.
We know a couple of accounts. There's tons. They're walking in the woods. Hunters see them, as we mentioned earlier. There's one where a woman was driving down the street. The headlights caught it. The headlights seemed to not reflect off it, but absorb into it. And it was squatting over a puddle and stood up.
No,
that's
weird.
one of the eyewitnesses that I think ended up in a pile of nonstop tears that I referred to earlier.
Okay.
So there's tons. Anyone who wants to research this can find just more than enough information, and I encourage anyone who's interested to do so. But we have the basic facts that we need to at least discuss it at this point. Okay, let's go back to the beginning and talk about the consistencies. We know that the one big disparity is the different heights, be it fucking super tall, like some people have seen.
3 feet to Treebeard.
Super suspect, yes, Treebeard, video footage that alleges to be these things. The problem I have with that, besides the fact that it is clearly CGI and shitbag, hailing from, I think, Moscow, or at least claiming to be from there, is the fact that it's dimensional, as CGI is wont to create things.
Right.
So while there's night footage that looks mildly intriguing because it's crappy, it's night, and you see the shadowy thing scurry up a building, the same poster put a daytime climb, which I guess could be a little off copper looking the way Simon Howes described it, but I don't buy any of, and I haven't seen all the footage. I don't buy any of the footage I've seen.
Can we just, really quickly, what do we think about actual footage? Is video footage credible?
I mean, some of it is, depending on what you're looking at.
Is it, though?
I mean, well, I haven't
with
seen any.
What you can do with video, is video credible?
Depending. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Just
I see
really
what you're
quickly.
saying, though. Yeah.
Mark, say what you think, and then I'll throw in my 2 cents.
If you're dealing with the Nimitz and the Tic Tac video, then yes, I totally see that as being credible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The video footage taken by Navy pilots
UFO footage
of the UFOs that got released by the Pentagon, or somehow released.
Stuff like that, I see being credible.
Official stuff, yes. I mean, common
YouTube postings,
plebe videos.
Plebeians.
There's some
the peasants,
not official governmental stuff.
Right. No, there's definitely some footage I've seen that I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting. But you're right. A lot of it, you're like, oh, that's someone trying to do some CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, just recently there was the UFO in New Jersey, and it looks great. It's awesome footage, and then it's a Goodyear blimp.
Yeah.
But
a mistake is not a hoax.
Right. But that footage,
No, that footage is legit. But that's just what it looks like.
So here's what I think. Like, Chris is absolutely right. With the increase in technology and the ability for almost anyone to employ CGI if they have like a solid laptop and a certain skill set,
right,
it's become so much harder to accept as real any video footage that is released. But that doesn't mean that it is all fake. So what I'd say is this. I love that we live in a world where everyone's got a high-def camera. Practically everyone, not me with my shitty-ass cell phone. But in general, people have a high-def camera in their back pocket that they could film any paranormal event that they happen to stumble into. It is unreliable to believe. There are some, like say that weird Dobie video, that weird loping elf that walks down a fucking...
that was a kid.
No. I saw the video footage where a kid was doing the same thing with underwear on his head. I was not convinced.
Or did they say that was it a kid or was it CGI?
I didn't see this one.
I don't know.
I thought it was debunked.
If it has been debunked as CGI, I don't know. And then I would stand corrected and eat crow. But I did see the part where, I don't know, like Entertainment Tonight or Inside Edition or whatever fucking show does these things, put underwear on the kid that lived there's head and had him goofily walk down. It, to me, was not a compelling imitation.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You haven't seen this video? It looks basically like Dobie the elf from the Harry Potter series from behind.
Dobie.
A nude weird thing with floppy ears. Walking down in just the jolliest, goofy fashion, much like a stickman, apparently.
We'll have to do some research and report back, but I'm pretty sure it was debunked.
It could very well be. Anyway, what I'm saying is some personal footage is compelling, though all of it is dubious now.
100%.
All of
yeah,
it is
100%.
100% dubious now.
We've been
that's
sent
tough.
how much dubious footage.
I'm saying
Tons.
it is technically it is all evidence, but I'm
is,
just
yeah.
like, I mean, how much credibility is evidence in 2020?
Yeah, no, it's true.
You're right,
I
it's
guess
true.
that's what I'm just putting
So
the question.
having
but-
established that,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
we don't,
I can,
and we're not
I
relying
can-
on any of it.
I can go on Instagram and Facetune myself to look like fucking John Stamos. So there you go.
Well,
There it is.
you know,
No, you-
I mean, you have
yeah.
an uncanny resemblance as is.
None
so-
whatsoever.
Yeah,
just saying.
it's more John Parr. It's still
It's
John.
definitely more John Parr.
Yeah.
A fat David Blaine. If you
Oh
will.
God, no! Come on, stop it.
Fat David Blaine.
A young
Watch me
John,
hold my breath for 3 seconds.
a young John Lovitz, if you will.
Oh no!
John
Why do you
Lovitz.
hate yourself so much?
All right,
Stop.
Hey, I'm dead. Oh yeah, no, that was terrible. Like,
Acting.
It really was. It was a horrible
Jesus,
impression. I
that was
totally
my-
believe.
That was really
That
bad. That was real bad.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
this is terrible. Okay, anyway,
So
Stickman.
very often, usually I would say the average height's about 10 feet tall. Though,
Okay.
as we said, we can establish different heights. Super thin, can climb, can spontaneously move. Hate to be recognized, evidently, regardless of whether or not any of the emotions the experiencers feel can
Yeah.
be relied upon as accurate. They definitely scoot real fucking quick when they're
Right.
seen.
Oh, yeah.
So that
Okay.
much we can agree on objectively.
Right.
And seem to react in a way that is not pleased, however you can interpret that.
Right.
They can scale walls, according to at least Simon Howe's account, unless you... This is so bizarre, but it grew. Is it a thing that can just grow like so many sci-fi creatures, or is it something that exists on a spectrum of physical reality where if it moves in relation to a static light source,
Right.
its physicality can actually change as if it is a genuinely animate shadow?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Which is a terrifying and yet utterly fascinating contemplation. Now, that's the only account I came across where
Right.
it actually changed shape, though I'm sure there's others.
Mm-hmm.
I've been... But I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Just the idea
Yeah,
that something
well-
could change its physical form based on the light that's hitting it. And it's not reflecting light. It's
Right.
not illuminated by light, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another thing you have to fucking throw in there. Is it sucking light in? I mean, it can't be an animate black hole because there goes reality as we know it. But is
Yeah,
it
that would-
somehow not of this world?
I mean,
Well, do you think it exists regardless of light? Is
I
that
don't
what you're saying?
it might exist regardless of light. I just threw that out there based on this one account.
No, right. I'm
Generally
just asking.
speaking, I don't think it exists regardless of light. But I am intrigued by the weird wavy optical illusion
That's weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was weird.
that has been in more than... That's not just one account. That's
Okay.
a lot of accounts where it has this kind of weird blur.
It's got the
around
weird
it
like
at all
heat,
times.
heat wavy thing.
That's the
that
most
you see from the
analogous
Mirage.
thing that I think eyewitnesses have come up with.
Yeah.
But it might not be a heat mirage. But if it is a
No,
heat
but
mirage,
I'm saying like a heat mirage.
Like
you
a
see the
heat
waves
mirage.
of weird.
yes.
Right. That's what I pictured when they said that.
I agree with that. So, I mean, these things are seen. A lot of them seem to have these wavy things. Here is one idea. Now, we know that, say, about 80% of this universe is made of dark matter.
okay.
It's basically a done deal. It's dark in the sense that it's not identified, not because it has any special. Well, it has maybe bryonic or anti-bryonic properties, but it's just called dark matter because it's
right.
unknown.
That's the
Right.
deal.
So, this matter is invisible to light
Okay.
and electromagnetic radiation. These things seem to kind of reject light, like they're not reflecting light. I don't know if they're sucking light in. So basically, I guess what I'm throwing out there is there a possibility if there is dark matter, could there be dark organisms, dark life? Could there be I mean, we are just matter. We're traditional matter made of atoms and molecules and cells and whatever makes things organic. Not even talking about sentience or anything like
Right.
lofty and
Yeah,
philosophical
well-
like that. Just being. If most of this universe is made up of dark matter, I mean, it is a reasonable thing to suppose
Yeah.
that maybe some of it is alive.
It's seemingly it's totally possible. But then the thing is like, why can some people? Why is it randomly people can see it and some people can't see it?
Yeah, because wouldn't we all see it?
Oh, no. Here's the thing. Yes, we've been talking so far. I've been talking about people that maybe are more sensitive psychically or maybe have a certain chromosome or, I mean, it always has to fall back on science eventually in my head where they can see things. But what if that's not the case at all? What if it is exceedingly rare and any one of us could see it? It just happens to be that those that have seen it and reported it are very few because these things very rarely visit Earth or interdimensionally hop to Earth or manifest on Earth or whatever the fuck they do.
The spectrum is right for you to see them for some reason, which is
okay.
I have no
But
science
do you
there.
think those things, if they exist, are actually 2D?
See, that's it. And there's the other problem too. I just
flat.
walked into a fucking an intellectual paradox. Besides the two-dimensional aspect, you can't see fucking dark matter. So I could just see dark
We
life.
can't right now. We can't
So-
detect it by the best physics,
Right.
which is
No.
fine, whatever. But still, that doesn't mean you can't see it. But then there's the 2D thing. Like, why does it seem like it's only 2D?
Which seems to make it a truly, potentially interdimensional entity.
Because if
in
it
that it's from a dimension
right, and if
that
it,
lacks a third dimension.
if
Right.
it turns,
We know space as we know it is not. It's more than technically 3D.
right.
But so why would a 2D thing be from here? It must be.
How would we even-
If you think it's 2D, it has to be from
Right.
not.
Did it leak
This
in?
dimension.
Is it literally a fugitive? Is it
If it's 2D.
a fucking an immigrant? Is it an accident?
Again, maybe if we're just getting a
accident.
glimpse at it for
Is it a
whatever
refugee?
whatever reason, it just seems. I don't even know what I would do if I saw a living 2D organism.
Well, that'll
what
fuck
would
you up.
Yeah, what?
Because
how would you even?
nothing we experience is invisible in profile.
Right.
Because it's not. Now, we might literally be two-dimensional living things in a three-dimensional simulation. And I know Elon Musk and other brilliant physicists that I'm not here to question
Oh, so
suppose that.
this is like a weird pixelization in the simulation.
Well, think about this then.
Simulation?
I mean, again, now I'm just pissing in the wind as always. But if we are simulation theory, and a lot of really bright people think so, I know I don't want that to be the truth because it's hard to wrap your head around. But suppose it is,
Right.
And suppose it is a 2D reality with a three-dimensional simulation that we perceive.
Mm-hmm.
What if occasionally there is just a glitch in the alleged matrix and the reality of what things are? Creatures that are maybe the programmers, the whatever, because, you got to get lofty with that. They show up and we see them for what they are. Two-dimensional beings that have created a three-dimensional pseudo-reality for us, for whatever reason to live in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board. Honestly, that actually is a great explanation.
No,
Jump in my simulation boat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm here.
No,
Let's do it.
I mean, the theory is, if you're going to go kind of by that, we are three-dimensional, but we're in a four-dimensional space, even more. There are space-time are dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean,
if you believe in string theory, there's at least 11
there has to be for the universe to
function the way
if
it
they
does.
can figure out, then it's done, and then we go to Star Trek Future.
So
Hopefully,
or annihilate reality as we know it. One or the other.
But why couldn't there be two-dimensional?
That's what I was thinking, is that if we are talking about 11 possible dimensions, then there would be a two-dimensional. There'd be a one-dimensional. So there would be these beings that...
Well, I mean, you can't guarantee there's life in every dimension. Like Chris was talking about 4 dimensions. The thing I read, and I'm sure there's as many theories as there are physicists practically, was that it was a 2-dimensional reality and we're given the illusion of 3 dimensions, and that somehow the way the universe is folded is on a 2D platform or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watch a lot of PBS. I watch a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
and I don't know.
everyone has
I can't
theories.
understand the math. I understand the
Right.
Nobody
I don't even
does.
understand the ideas.
Nobody does.
I can repeat to a degree the ideas without understanding them and having no comprehension of the math.
All right,
behind it.
so we're dealing with possible two-dimensional beings. Rob's simulation theory, I think, is fucking dope.
There's another thing that has to be thrown out there in a much more traditional way. Let's strip away all the physics, all the Michio Kakus and all the mayhem. And what is the most common a lot of people think they're seeing, I said one of the most common paranormal phenomenons is that the dead come back to visit in the form of ghosts, specters, phantoms, whatever.
Right.
And at least if you're going to go by ghost shows and the people that are authorities on this matter, two things that are absolutes when you're trying to detect ghosts. Cold spots, which are allegedly derived from entities from another plane of existence which used to live on Earth, draining energy from the mortal world to manifest either physically or in some way to interact.
Okay.
And this also allegedly creates electromagnetic fluxes. So people use the electromagnetic meters and they look for physical cold spots, which are supposed to be actual scientific things that they can detect that indicate the presence of a dead, or the spirit of a physically dead human visiting the Earth.
Or something.
So
Sure.
if that's the
Okay.
case, and a void that seems to be absorbing energy that isn't, maybe this is literally the first form of an entity manifesting. Now, I don't think it's it, but some people really think that it might be, so I'm throwing it out there.
All right.
My ideas are definitely more of the interdimensional and bigger version,
yeah.
but I feel like I got to give the devil its due and just state that there's a lot of people that think that these might be, but that doesn't explain the superior condescending attitude, the jaunty gait, or any of the other things that are sometimes.
You're not going to absorb energy per dimension. Like, you're not going to be like, I got enough just to get 2 dimensions. I'm a whole body, but I'm only 2. Like, I feel like that's not the rules of that.
They're like powering.
You know what I mean?
No, I know what
like,
you're saying.
You're going to
like
absorb it on a
powering up.
level.
It's
not
always
just
thrown
like,
me off because we really have sensitive detecting gear. And if the dead really are visiting and they really need to suck in energy, I always think of that the weird guy who was a teacher in Fast Times at Ridgemont High who played the subway ghost and the Patrick Swayze ghost, and he had to manifest energy to kick the can. Swayze had to build up the energy to beat up the guy who murdered him and save his wife or whatever. Like that ghost. It almost seems like this is based on that loosely, even though maybe the beliefs in ghosts having to gain energy goes earlier. I don't know about the history of that, but what I do know is that if they really do need to manifest energetically and they do so by sucking it from this world, for lack of a better term, then we should have sensitive enough machines. We should be able to detect the appearance of every fuck-sucking ghost.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the government would know about this, and they literally would have monitoring devices because the NSA's scanning of every email and text message that's like, dead in Idaho, dead in Mississippi.
You would think
14 dead in Louisiana just showed up and disappeared.
Yeah, man, I don't know about Zach Baggins yelling at Patrick Swayze in stick form.
I mean, if it's somehow connected to dark matter, then it would make sense because we haven't found that out yet.
Maybe. I mean, what about the Fae, man?
Shut the fuck up.
Briefly talked about
what Andy talked about.
We briefly talked about the Fae.
Ancient legends.
You dink.
You got Fae dink.
Wow, smoke my Fae dink. You're done.
All right, so there are some who suggest that Aboriginal paintings from the American Southwest
portals.
God damn it. To Australia.
Derision.
All right, let me finish. To the caves in France, all these places are representations of these entities, these energetic entities that are somehow superior to us, somehow very aware of us, that we are often not aware of. I would think conversely, the Aboriginal art needs to be simplistic. I mean, if you're spending your time killing things to feed your family and finding berries and living, building your mud huts. I'm in no way condescending to our ancestors, by the way. They lived a hard, fast life. They didn't have time to paint all the super... Like, they did the bison pretty good. They did the ox. They did the shit that they needed to do.
Exactly.
The stick figure, to me, is an artistic representation and not indicative... of the many bow and arrow wielding stickmen that existed in our ancient antediluvian human past.
Ain't got time for stickmen.
No.
So I don't buy that, but I do think maybe this phenomenon could be with us. And all right, so let's entertain this notion for a second. What if we are living with a species that right in the shadow of that little nook there can hide in plain sight, is not interested in being seen by us, is not in any way afraid of us? Maybe they are, but I don't see why they would be. They're used to functioning in a way where they can be not seen. When they are seen, for maybe again, their camo fucked up, their super sweet predator fucking camo melted down, or whatever the fuck it is, and they're just like, oh shit, I gotta get away, or I'm gonna ice you. You saw me, fuck you. And we're living in a world, because we talk about the whole Lovecraftian idea, the old from beyond, like things around us all the time that we don't know about? Who's to say?
So
that's great, but if it's still 2 dimensions, it has to lay in a weird way that we can't fucking see it if it's in that corner.
So they're coexisting
like
in some
it's gotta
weird
be like flat and weird.
Well, all right. Say you're
Euclidean,
2-dimensional.
Whatever.
All right, God damn it.
Yeah, like that.
Non-Euclidean. You love that.
I do.
All right, but no, seriously, if you are 2-dimensional, who's to say you can't fold? Boom, 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 and you become this compact thing. Like
It would.
there's not any, when you're 3-dimensional, we've all played hide and seek. You try to tuck into spaces that are too fucking small for you.
Sure.
You can't. But if you're 2-dimensional, fuck it. Who's to say you can't literally condense yourself?
Oh, sure, but who say you can?
Well, no, we're just talking about possibilities here. We're not talking about
So am
things
I.
proven.
Like, who's to say you can?
This is not the already proven podcast.
I know. I'm just saying right, but who's to say just because you're 2 that you can do foldies?
Who's to say you can't? Paper folds.
So if
Paper folds.
Paper's not 2-dimensional.
Paper is the
You can
closest
see
thing to
paper,
2-dimensional that we have in a
except you're
3-dimensional
right.
world.
So,
But
if
it-
we're
but it's not.
coexisting-
So if you're truly 2-dimensional, you vanish when you're turned to the side.
Yes.
yeah. So if we're
So who's to
You
say?
literally have 0 of 1 dimension.
yeah.
You're right.
Like
Well, you have 0 of the third dimension. Yeah.
You know what, though? I guess in with that perspective, if we are coexisting with these creatures, we would have almost no clue unless they show themselves to us. We wouldn't be able to perceive them. If they were standing sideways, we're blind.
They literally could be all around us
they're-
at
yeah,
the
if they're
perfect
standing
angle, and
sideways,
we wouldn't
we're-
know.
Literally, we're blind.
They
to
could
them.
constantly be moving around
How
us.
hilarious would that be?
But
Yeah, no, they're
people-
all around us.
Yeah, what a weird way to live.
Watching
It's a
us
weird
jerk
way to live.
off.
Looking at my Pornhub searches.
I mean,
Stickman's over there.
no one does
You're
that.
playing
Why?
with my goddamn toys.
Watch me eat pizza and praying to Yahweh.
I like pizza and Jesus. I don't go to Pornhub.
Secretly opening your fucking pops.
Yeah,
and
they're opening my
pretending they
fucking
weren't.
pops.
They're putting them back.
Oh, shout outs to Feisty Girl from the fucking
Oh,
Mothman.
yeah, we got the
Oh,
Mothman Pops.
yeah,
Feisty
what
Girl,
up?
those are the
thank you.
dope.
Feisty,
Opening.
Feisty Gal, what up?
They're
Discord?
the kitties' titties.
All right,
Thank
so
you
where
much.
are we with this?
All right, so there's a
Yeah,
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a
All
lot.
right.
This is a fascinating thing. There's a reason I brought up the supposed hierarchy of cryptids, aliens, goblins, and fucking potentially stickmen.
Goblins.
Because they are the hardest to quantify. Therefore, they are probably the hardest, well, not maybe the hardest thing, but one of the hardest things for logical people to accept. Yet, I mean, you can't reject eyewitness reports out of hand, and you have to at least we entertain the possibility that they do exist. And if they do exist, and they're, perhaps always standing perpendicular to us or sideways.
It's a
in
weird way
profile,
to live, man.
If they're around
complicated.
us constantly, I'm fascinated by the thought that, and I do believe this. I mean, I believe it because it just seems to make sense, both on a quantum and a subatomic level and other levels, that we are probably surrounded by things. Our limits of perception and sight, we don't even get to see an infrared without technological help. We are probably,
Yeah.
if not, I'm not saying that the universe is densely populated with life forms and we're constantly being bombarded with it, but I'm sure there are things that operate on some level of a living organism that are around us that we are unable to perceive, both technologically and visually and auditorially and whatnot.
All right, well, and that's
And if that's the case,
that's the
these
stick-
things
that's the
might
stick
fall
people.
into it, or maybe anything. Maybe it could be like weird fucking sky barracuda. I don't fucking know.
Fucking
It's
stick
definitely
people.
sky
Sky
barracuda.
cudas.
So, Chris, are you going to jump in the sky
Dactyls and
barracuda?
sky
What are you
cudas.
going to do?
No.
What do you got? What do you
not.
All
got?
right,
It's
so
not-
yeah, let's end this.
It's not sky pike. It's not fucking.
Oh, come on.
The worst pike.
Sky
Come on,
pike.
atmospheric
pike.
gar.
Yeah.
Why won't you?
An atmosphere. Good
Come
pull.
on.
Good
Yeah.
pull.
No, I mean, I don't
Cumulo
even
sharks?
fucking know what this one. This is weird.
It is weird.
It's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do something different. Instead of asking Chris what he
I
thinks,
don't think there's a cryptozoological answer for this.
No, I don't think there is.
which
either.
is basically a way of saying, and don't let me paraphrase you if I'm not accurate, Chris.
You
There's
son
not
of a
a
bitch.
biological explanation for this. Is that what you mean by cryptozoology? Like corporeal, manifestly real?
Right. As far as a thing that exists, it doesn't seem like it exists naturally. I don't feel like.
Is it psychological? Is it demonological? Is it
demonology?
ultra-terrestriological?
ultra terrestrial. Oh,
Yeah, even
you know
I was
what?
struggling for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I didn't mean that.
Don't bring up tulpas.
Topological?
No.
I brought up tulpas before.
But
Doesn't
you
mean
know.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
but
But
I would take out tulpas in this one, even though I think that there is something to those theories in that they aren't thinking to themselves, what if there were things that were absorbing light that looked like men's figures?
Well, I mean, they felt like they were arrogant, and maybe they were trying to feed off of something.
Like
I
psychic
feel like
vampires?
that's. I feel like that's all from them.
Maybe an
though, to be honest
ultra-terrestrial.
with you.
Could be.
No, shut the fuck up.
Well,
I'm
if
saying
these
could
things
be.
exist
Could
all
be.
around us, then they might be
If.
feeding on us. We might be cattle.
They could be.
And maybe, I don't know, low energy, fucking not feeling so hot that day is that you just got too close to one of these things you can't possibly see. They sucked off some of your good vibes and
Some
serotonin.
of your fucking serotonin.
I'm not saying that stickmen are responsible for depression. So let's not go nuts
right.
here.
Yeah,
I feel like you just said that.
I know I felt like I was going there, much like fucking Mark's tacit endorsement of meth. I was sort of like, I'm not trying to suggest that all psychological ills or physical ills are because of the resplendent
Next week,
stickmen.
you're going to have a drug. You're going to be like, I teamed up with fucking
Yeah, really.
Sporka Core, and we have a new
That's my
drug.
favorite company.
And now he's
Sporka Core.
You've got fucking entities
I
that
would
are eating
endorse
your
them.
serotonin.
Take this
So-
pill, and you won't
And
see
the
fucking
stickmen
2D
will
people.
not eat your
Yeah.
serotonin anymore. But
So-
maybe no. Maybe they really are like energy vampires. Like literally,
Yeah.
like that's a phenomenon
Yeah.
that has been reported for years. And I don't know the definition of them. They don't seem to be the dead ones that come back to feast on the flesh.
Right.
They seem to be this whole other thing.
So I'm thinking maybe where I'm coming from this
Yeah.
is that dimensionally, or I guess dimensionally speaking, if we're just what we're seeing is the perception of a shadow from the other side. So they might actually
A
be
thing that is
seeing.
fully formed in another realm that we can only see.
We're just seeing a shadow of it.
Okay, that's
and
interesting.
Maybe to them we're a shadow. So if they're having the same sort of thing on their end, where it's like, what the fuck is this? You're playing the shadow puppet game, basically.
Yeah, but they don't seem to
Across
react to
dimensions.
us like, oh shit. Well, maybe
yeah,
they
yeah,
react
but
like,
why-
oh, shit.
yeah,
I
but
guess
Yeah, but
they
why
do.
though?
Yeah.
Why were you seeing a shadow of them?
I guess the shadow's not really a term, but like whatever like we're looking at, whatever we're dealing with, how we're perceiving them and they're perceiving us. If we're perceiving them as, I mean, yes, they are 2D, but if let's say that they were 6D, we wouldn't be able to perceive that because we can't see 6 dimensions. We'd be seeing it in the simplest form, which very well
Right.
could be 2D.
Right, but why?
Just because that's how we're perceiving it. That's how we like.
Are you asking why would this happen?
Why are we? Yes, why are we
why is it
able to
happening?
see it at random
well,
points?
because of the thing of the thinning of the veil. Good
The
sir.
thinning of the
there we
veil.
go,
That just makes
ladies
sense.
and gentlemen.
I was going to
the
go with
thing
goblins.
of the veil.
I was going to say it was interdimensional goblins, but I'm not going to say that.
Why not?
So because again, I like the idea that maybe because
The
for
goblins.
whatever reason the veil is thin and we're seeing through it, which dimensionally
Into the
speaking,
macabre universe.
dimensionally speaking, that could very possibly be a thing. Where if for whatever reason, dude, quartz
Can it?
deposits are everywhere. Owls.
Quartz deposits are
Owls.
everywhere.
Herkimer
Owls. I'm going to quote
diamonds.
Mark. When it comes to explaining
wait,
paranormal-
wait, wait a
Quartz
minute.
deposits are everywhere. Semicolon.
Going owls.
What am I going to do with you?
I'm not
That
really sure.
that is
Oh.
just that's you're gonna win a Nobel Prize for something.
Yeah,
That's
no
right,
doubt.
goddamn it,
No doubt. That
2021.
sentence alone, you're on the fucking
I'm not
docket.
really sure what mechanism would cause a breakdown in dimensions. I don't really know how that. If we are living,
They do seem to be reacting to us. So maybe their supposed shock,
if they're seeing us and we're seeing them.
and a lot of them just run away. They don't like usually stalk people to their
No.
doorstep. Then maybe you're right. Maybe it is this other thing. Maybe it's another thing that isn't even interdimensional. Maybe you don't even need to go that big. Maybe it's another thing that lives on Earth, that lives on a different Earth where they're doing their shit, their workaday world, they're dealing with their COVID, they're dealing with their bullshit, they're living their fucking life, and all of a sudden they see this weird shadowy thing come towards them. They think it's another dude down the street, and it's Andy and Sue, but to them it's these weird
and
fucking
Sue.
cutouts of the guy symbol and the girl symbol on the bathroom, and they're like, the fuck you are,
That's-
and then they book, or like in the case of that one, it's intrigued and like, I'm going to follow these two figures and see where they go.
Yeah.
They went into this door, I'm looking in the door, I don't see them, I leave.
yeah, if it is
I mean,
some weird interdimensional shadow,
Not
then
interdimensional,
there you go.
I'm
Or
talking
just-
about completely terrestrial, but an alternate.
Yeah, but when I'm
So
saying
maybe interdimensional.
when I'm saying
You're right,
interdimensional,
right.
it's,
You paint yourself in
I'm
an interdimensional
like,
corner.
no, it's terrestrial, but it's alternate. No,
it's not like an Earth 52. It's
No,
it's not like a DC thing, but it sort of is because
still our
it's
Earth.
all fucking compacted on.
A
It's
single
all living
Earth,
on top of each other.
but a different way of perceiving.
Exactly. So there it is.
And then the veil thins.
The veil thins.
The
No.
glamour lessens.
The goblins,
women's.
the goblins are
The
visible.
goblins,
They're visible.
scatter.
They're
And then they
all
show
you
up.
see is the tiny goblins
But they're not
scatter.
goblins. They're like fucking Fred.
They're clearly not
It's just
goblins.
he's doing his thing.
We're gonna rebrand goblins
He's
for
a
2020.
barista. All right, we're
Two-dimensional
rebranding
goblins?
Yeah, 2020.
The DRI guy, goblins.
Yes, there you go. I like it.
I can live with the rebranding
Is
of goblins.
the DRI reference considered an obscure?
No, all right, so the
reference?
DRI dude.
I don't consider obscure, but it could
Yeah,
be.
they're not real obscure.
I don't know if they're obscure. I'm not even sure if I call them metal.
Can we?
No, I wouldn't either.
You know what I'm going to
really.
say?
No.
To help people out with their bingo? Creator. That's it.
That might be. Well,
Just leave it there.
maybe
Not
it's
really.
obscure.
Does Crater have fucking a stick figure song?
No, I just meant creator, just so they can
Obscure
play
metal
bingo.
reference.
That's
Oh,
all.
okay, gotcha.
That's just for you.
Gotcha.
I hope
Back to-
somebody won bingo. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
me
if
too.
you
This
did.
is the
No.
DRI guy. I can't believe no one brought him up earlier.
I-
it's totally
It's-
it.
dude.
I thought of that forever, but
he
That's
now
a
is the
jaunty
time.
hopping dude
Yeah.
that he's employing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking
God, I love
abduction.
DRI.
Yeah,
Me too.
abduction fucking rules.
It's been too long.
All right, well there you have it.
All right, so what? Yeah,
I
what
like
is it?
abduction. Abduction.
It could be a lot of things.
Yeah, when I was a kid and saw this shit on Headbangers Ball, I was like, these guys are fucking dope, and these poor kids have been abducted. No,
Dude,
DRI's gonna save
Slumlord
them.
doesn't care.
Dude, DRI's gonna save
True.
them.
Four of a kind is
I
the
guess
one.
it played
It
on
is, actually,
Headbangers
it
Ball.
is.
It's metal enough.
Yeah.
It is.
Suicidal Tendency played on there. I wouldn't call
Again,
them
not metal.
traditionally,
Yeah.
but I
they're
love them, and they were on
fucking
Headbangers
suicidal
Ball.
rules, dude.
Who are we to-
Suicide's the
who are
shit.
we to
Suicide DRI
overjudge
would have been a
Headbangers
very
Ball?
good tour. Maybe they did.
I'm pretty sure
Oh
they
my
did.
God,
I'm
it would've
almost
been a great
positive.
Because it
tour.
makes sense, because they're not
did.
metal, but they're not
No.
punk, but they're not.
They're
I
two of my
know what the
youthful
fuck they are,
favorites. Two of
yeah.
my 80s faves.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. Kryptonite Podcast. Hope y'all did good in bingo. If you're playing the drinking game, you're dead.
Oh yeah, you died.
So, yeah, you got alcohol.
I don't know what the
poisoning.
actual drinking game is, though.
Is it-
People were
yeah,
like,
is it a
people
drink?
played a drinking game,
Right.
but they didn't say what it was.
I mean, we won't
That's
always
true.
actively play to help your bingo, but this
Let
is
us
our
know what
initial,
your
and we're gonna
version
do
of the
it this
drinking
time.
game is,
Yeah, let us
other
know.
than the bingo card.
The Instas, Twitters, and the Facebooks were there. We're doing it. We're checking it out.
Living
Discord.
the life, the dream.
If you're on the Discord, I am there every day, actually.
Are you?
Yeah.
God bless you.
It's nice. It's easy.
I
It's
need
quick.
to go. I need to go there more often. I
This-
really
the
do love the
Discord's dope.
interactions I've had there. I actually went on Facebook the other night and
I saw.
commented, and
I
I,
saw.
loved it. I missed it. I literally haven't been on Facebook for like 3 fucking weeks. I'm horrible.
Oh my God, 3 weeks?
I'm
Yeah, I just don't. I don't do
Yeah,
it.
no, actually, I'm checking Facebook once a week now.
Are ya?
I wait until like the weekend when I can sit down, but it feels like a chore now where I'm like, where I gotta sit down, like, all right, whose birthday did
You know
I
what?
miss?
I don't even check my own profile.
Right.
You know, like-
I don't check.
I know.
I don't check my fucking feed or whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
no,
I go
know.
right to the
It's-
Kryptonite
it's
fan
just-
page.
Yeah.
Facebook's just a
No.
fucking a
I
bummer.
know.
But we're on social media. We're out there. Hit
But I
us
do
up.
have some
DM us.
sweet pictures of my nephew I'm going to post. So
All right,
there's a
cool.
little.
Cool. There it is.
He's so cute.
Hellerspace.com. Election season is upon us. Get your election shirts.
Do it.
If you
Show
go-
who you're really repping.
If you go vote with your election shirt, send us a picture.
Oh, please do. If
Oh,
you have
shit,
your election
yeah.
shirt with the I voted sticker,
Yes.
you're going to make me
There you
so
go.
Oh,
darn
yeah.
Send
happy.
it to us, and we will fucking put that out on the socials and
Hells
tag
yeah.
you. The Patreon, patreon.com/Kryptonite Podcast. Thank you to everyone that contributes over there. We are going to have a very special October episode, no spoilers, coming out shortly. So that would be very fun. Check that out. Yeah, merch, Patreon, Instas. That's it. That's everything, right?
We did everything.
Yeah, that's all it is. There it is.
We've
Boom. There it is.
encapsulated the entire zeitgeist,
Nice.
as I like to pronounce it,
Nice.
of
I
our
like it.
pod,
I enjoy
our
it.
world,
There it
our
is.
peripheral endeavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless Patreon. God bless our normal listeners.
Yeah.
You guys
Thank
are the
y'all.
best in the fucking universe.
And,
whatever theories you have, on,
yeah, let us
on
know, by all
stick
means.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
post
do
out.
it.
Let us know.
So, October's here. I know COVID. It's fucking weird. I don't know if trick or treating's happening.
You know,
I
with
don't
my
know,
great
fucking-
nephew, who's only 2.5, granted, we're gonna line up family cars on the street, and he's gonna go car to car.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
just keeping
fucking
it,
nice.
you know,
Perfect.
giving him something to start
dope.
the idea, even though he probably won't remember.
I
And
gotta
he's got
figure
this
out-
great little orange cosmonaut outfit he picked out because he
Oh,
liked that it was
cool.
orange. It was pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's dope. I got to
Yeah.
figure out something
Nice.
for my kids because my kids are like prime age for it.
Oh, I know that's tough for them.
We're going to the Adirondacks, so we'll see some, bears and maybe trick or treat.
Mark's gonna do the cup
bears
challenge
are not
for Halloween.
I'm taking the Cubs trick or treat.
Oh, bring them a lot of candy. Don't do it.
We'll figure out something.
All
Anyway,
right.
fucking
No,
keep
Jesus
Halloween
Christ.
in your hearts, keep it in your minds, keep it close
100%.
to you. I do have fireworks.
For Halloween.
I'm not going to say where I got them from.
Your 4th of Halloween dreams.
Why would
I have
you?
fireworks.
Fireworks should be every holiday.
I know, but I do have fireworks. I got them there, so we're going to make that happen.
So you're going to burn the Adirondacks down?
No,
Wildfires
I'm
in New
going to
York.
do that here in my house.
Good.
Yeah, I'm going to do that here in my house, some fireworks. So there you go. There you have it. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Bye.
Yeah, just keep your eyes peeled because there's some shady shit going on.
Yeah.
And, fuck,
man. There it is.
Give it candy. Throw candy in
Throw
the
candy.
hole. When you see a hole in reality that's
Throw
vaguely
candy.
shaped like a fucking men's bathroom symbol,
Fuck yeah.
huck candy, run. You've done your duty.
Thank you all. We'll talk
God bless. Sons of bitches.
one and all.
Wow. You
One
Tiny
and all.
Tim. Let's Tiny Tim. Can we Tiny Tim for Halloween from now on?
Yeah. Chris is going as Tiny Tim. There you go.
Oh, my
No,
God.
I am Tiny Tim.
He is.
I don't even have to try.
He hobbles. He
I'm
loves turkey.
clearly Tiny Tim.
Yeah, we're gonna save it
I
this
limp.
Christmas.
I beg for fucking pudding and meat,
Meats. Sundry meats.
copper pieces, whatever.
Oh, shit. We'll be seeing you.
Bye.
Oh, God.
Bye.